over time, over the course of your life, if you can save on all these little things, that could be a down payment on a house. About a year ago, I got rid of everything I own and moved into this 60 square foot camper van. Obviously, my expenses went way down, but I also found that I didn't miss any of the things that I left behind at all. So I made this video to share some ways that you can be more intentional with your spending as well, even if you don't plan on living in a van anytime soon. So let's get into it. First up is impulse home decor items. Home decor, if you have a large space, there's always going to be things that you can buy. So having this small space of a van, that limiting factor, has been really helpful for keeping that expense for me in check. And it's been hard to make excuses to buy yet another decorative candle or some other cute thing that I found on Etsy. Speaking of candles, I used to buy every nice smelling cute candle that I ever came across, and over time my apartment accumulated what you would call an unused candle graveyard. Now I try to stick to one candle at a time, or I just burn through what I already have before buying another one. Right now I'm using these really nice smelling rose scented candles that I found at my parents' place, so that's actually free. That's another pro tip. If there's something free, try to use that. Next up is cleaning products. So did you know that you can actually clean pretty much anything with just baking soda and vinegar? So when I moved into the van, I did not have room under my van sink for all kinds of glass cleaner, floor cleaner, oven cleaner, all the things that people buy. So I had to get creative, Google things, and I found out that you can literally make an amazing, non-toxic, very effective cleaning spray with vinegar and or baking soda. So that's what I use to clean my entire van, and I'd say it works pretty well. Something else I stopped buying is kitchen gadgets. I'm a girl that watches cooking YouTube videos just for fun, so I could very easily go down that rabbit hole of buying a panini press and a avocado cover, a waffle maker, toaster. But I really had to downsize when I moved into the van, and I had to really think, what am I going to use every single day? Not even once a week or every month, but every single day. And it came down to my Instant Pot, which also has an air fryer function, and just 2 pots and pans. And I can do everything with it. Even toast, I just toast the bread on my pan over the stove if I want toast. And for rice, my Instant Pot makes perfect rice every time, so I've gotten rid of my rice cooker. It's really amazing how much you can do with just a few key multi-use appliances. I also no longer buy dog toys. My dog Jupiter is a spoiled brat, and when I first got him as a puppy, I bought every single toy that I found on Amazon, and when I moved into this van, unfortunately I ended up giving it all away because I realized it was really unnecessary. We can have a blast with tree branches, a towel, like whatever is at hand. So if you have a dog, expensive dog toys is definitely something you can cut out of your budget too. Next up, I used to love treating myself to fresh flowers. I would buy roses because, come on, my name's Rose. I would spend about $10 to $15, maybe even more, on fresh roses every single week. They also don't last that long. But then I realized actually I'd probably do better with just succulent plants. They're a lot more low maintenance. These cost $10, $15 each, and they pretty much survive whatever you do to them. The van changes temperature a lot. I forget to water them, and they're still holding up great.
I want to share that something I realized about myself before starting van life was that I had a tendency to people please and chase validation. Because deep down, I just didn't feel good enough or feel comfortable in my own skin. So I'd buy stuff and keep busy as a distraction. And that would obviously only create more mental and physical clutter without ever actually getting to the source of the issue. And so a big goal I had for this van life journey was to practice self-acceptance and just find some peace through simple, minimalist living.
When I moved into the van, I had to get rid of boxes and boxes of books, a lot of them which I hadn't even read. And so I realized that my addiction to buying self-improvement books, to buying books and increasing my knowledge, was actually a form of self-hatred in disguise, because I never felt good enough, so I'd always keep buying books and searching for the answer to my healing in books. And then I realized the answer to my healing and wholeness is not in those books. I'm already fine just as I am, and whatever I need to know, I've got the inner wisdom for. I just need to go inwards and use what I already know. And so having the limited space of a van has helped me realize that I don't need books. And if I really want to buy a book, I'll think on it for a night, and if the next day I wake up really still wanting to read that book, I'll get it, and most of the time I'll actually just get the Audible version and listen to the audiobook while I'm driving. Other than books, it's pretty amazing what other expenses you can eliminate once you actually start accepting yourself. Namely, the way you look. If you don't like the way you look, you're gonna fall prey to every beauty gadget, zit, zapper, LED, skincare, jade, face roller that you see on Instagram. You're just gonna buy it. But when you feel good about yourself, you're not going to fall prey to those marketing and advertising tactics that prey on your insecurities to get you to buy things. A lot of the beauty industry, unfortunately, is about changing yourself, with the underlying message being that you're not good enough or beautiful enough as you are, therefore you need to buy all these products. But if you think about it, in ancient civilizations, Egypt and India, these women were beautiful. They had beautiful hair and they didn't have all these crazy products. So something else I stopped spending money on is hair products, mainly because I don't have space for lots and lots of bottles in my little shower. But also I realized all you really need is a good shampoo, a conditioner. I use these zero waste shampoo conditioner bars and an argan oil to moisturize my hair in between washes, and a pink hair color conditioner to touch up the color once in a while. And the other key thing is, if you have good water, like instead of hard water with a lot of minerals and chemicals in it, if you just have good quality water with like a shower filter, then your hair is going to be a lot nicer naturally without having to put all these products in it. I also no longer buy trendy, colorful makeup. If I don't use it every day or whenever I put on makeup, I just don't buy it. So right now I have a 2-for-1 blush / lip color, mascara, eyeshadow palette with a couple of neutral everyday colors, foundation for once in a while if I want my skin to look really flawless. Yes, it is fun to try colorful, cool looks once in a while, but for the amount of space that the makeup takes up in my van, it's truly not worth it. Along the same lines, I also stopped buying trendy clothing items. Because I only have 2 cabinets to really fit all my clothes, when I moved into the van, I needed to adopt a capsule wardrobe mindset, which I think will serve you whether you live in a van or not. It's basically the idea of every piece of clothing that you own creates many, many different outfits. It's like one sweater can be worn with 10 different bottoms and create 10 different looks. And while I do love fashion, being a fashionista that wears something different every day really just doesn't fit my lifestyle, nor do I think it's necessary, because honestly, people don't care. People don't notice if you've worn the same thing a couple times that week. So that's literally what I do. I wear the same few outfits every single day, and if someone sees that I have a repeat outfit, who cares? Plus, when I really want to indulge my fashion urge, I'll usually just scroll through Pinterest and create like boards of different looks and then just forget about it. Sometimes I find that scrolling through and just visually, feasting my eyes on these kinds of things is enough to scratch that itch. Okay, what else? I also no longer buy extra laundry supplies. Now that I have to do laundry at laundromats or at friends' houses, I keep it really minimal. I use these non-toxic laundry detergent sheets, which take up very little space, and sometimes I separate my whites from my colors, and I don't use bleach. I just kind of wash everything at once. Maybe that's not good practice, but it's worked so far for me. So yeah, I think color brightener, fabric softener, all these extra things are really unnecessary. All you need is clean clothing, right? Something else I no longer buy is random electronic gadgets. Just walk through a Sharper Image store at the airport and you will find all kinds of electronics that look useful and they'll be very tempting. But last time I was tempted to buy a massage gun, I knew deep in my bones that I would never use it, and those are the kind of things I don't fill up my van with. So really think hard before you spend money on electronics that you won't even use. Another major adjustment that I've made is eliminating pads and tampons. If you're a girl and you're gonna have a period for 30 plus years, that is many, many months that you're gonna have to buy pads and tampons, and those expenses add up. So ever since moving into a van, I switched over to menstrual cups and period-proof underwear from Thinx. It is amazing. I love it so much. Not only is it more environmentally sustainable, but it's so nice to literally never have to spend money on pads and tampons again. And this is another female-only expense. Well, actually, I guess men also shave too, so this is for you men out there too. But it's just like you have to buy razors every time you shave. I think is a huge waste of money and of environmental resources. So now I use this reusable metal safety razor that you can basically use forever. Something else I did was get laser hair removal many, many years ago, and that, by the way, is so worth it. And I don't use shaving foam either. I just use, foam from soap. Another item that I do not buy is mouthwash. Every morning I floss and I tongue scrape and then I brush my teeth, and that is enough to keep my breath fresh naturally without mouthwash for the rest of the day. And if I really do need to freshen my breath, I'll just brush my teeth again, you know? So what is really the point of mouthwash? Next up is shoes. Ever since Sex and the City, having this shoe addiction and spending all your money on shoes, it's become sort of this cliche, girly, cute thing, which I really don't think is cute. So when I moved into the van, I probably had about 15 to 20 pairs of shoes, and I had to downsize to only just a few. So right now I think I have about 7 pairs of shoes. It's come down to my Birkenstocks, combat boots, some ankle boots that are high-heeled, and knee-high boots that are high-heeled for like fancier things when I go out. Washable white sneakers from Allbirds, which are amazing by the way, and some flip-flops, and I believe that's it. And with these pairs of shoes, oh, I forgot, workout shoes. And with these, I've been able to do all the things that I need to do, go to all the events and do all the activities. So 7 pairs of shoes and I'm good. Something else I no longer buy is items just because they're on sale. If it's something you already needed and then it happens to be on sale so you get it cheaper, that is great. That's super smart. It's even smart to sometimes wait for big sale events like Black Friday or Cyber Monday for those big items that you know that you need. That is smart. But just browsing through a store and seeing something on sale and then coming up with reasons why you need that thing because you really want to take advantage of the sale, that means you end up with less money in your pocket for something you're not really going to use. So it's a unilaterally bad financial decision no matter how heavy the discount is. So no items just because they're on sale. All right, we haven't talked that much about food yet, so let's get into that. Something I rarely buy anymore is coffee. And I'm talking those expensive like $5, $6, $7 oat milk cappuccinos at fancy cafes. I will pay for those once in a while if I really want to sit in the cafe and enjoy the ambiance and I'm catching up with a friend and I don't want to just sit in my van alone. So I'll use it sort of as a way to enjoy an ambiance or have an experience, and I'll sit there for hours. You know, I'll get my money's worth out of that $6 coffee. But other than that, I usually just make coffee at home if I drink coffee at all, and you can have really nice creamer and have a nice coffee experience for much cheaper. I also do not buy juices or smoothies. I have done this once in a while in a blue moon if I'm like at an airport and there's nothing healthy around and I have to go to like Jamba Juice and pay $10 for a smoothie. But that really hurts because I have an amazing blender at home and all these frozen fruits and healthy protein powders and supplements that I can make smoothies with. So I really try to make these at home because really the markup on these kinds of drinks is ridiculous. Next up, I do not buy excessive pantry items. I have a very lean and mean, efficient pantry in my van, and whenever I sit down to plan meals or go grocery shopping for the week, I always look at what's in my pantry first and then plan my meals around that. Sometimes if I have a lot of stuff in my pantry, I find that I don't even need to go grocery shopping at all. When I lived in an apartment, I used to run out and get new ingredients for every new recipe that I wanted to try, and then stuff would just pile up unused in my pantry, and ultimately when I moved into the van, there were a lot of things that I had to get rid of. So the answer isn't always more, more, more. Sometimes really the answer is just being creative and using up what you already have. I also no longer buy just-in-case items. Because when have you actually ever needed that cool thingamajig that you saw at the store and it looked really useful even though you couldn't actually think of a use for it at the time, but you thought it might be handy one day, so you bought it just in case? I've simply decided to trust in the universe and trust that if and when I need something, that item is gonna be there or I'm gonna be able to get my hands on that item when I need it. And honestly, having this kind of trust and simplicity has done wonders for my anxiety and mental health. These are all a lot of random, small, not necessarily huge expenses, but over time, over the course of your life, if you can save on all these little things, that could be a down payment on a house. Now, before van life, I was never an irresponsible spender by any means, but I would still find myself spending money wastefully, always with really good rationalizations as to why it was a good purchase. You know, if I felt ugly, I'd buy some new beauty product. If I felt fat, I'd buy some new workout clothes. If I felt bored, I would buy some cool thingamajig that I saw on Amazon that looked useful. And so it was really cool how having really limited space in my van made me think much harder about the purchases that I made, because it made me think really hard about whether I actually truly needed that thing or whether I was just trying to fill some emotional void with that thing. And turns out the less stuff I bought, the more I realized that I was okay without that stuff. I felt like I'd uncovered the great lie of capitalism. I will finally be happy when. I'll be happy when I have. I'll be happy when I achieve. It's this never-ending hamster wheel.
But the truth is, everything we need, we already have. The air that we breathe, your 2 hands and feet, your eyesight, your hearing, your aliveness, the love that you have for yourself and for those around you, that is the true resource. Everything and all the abundance in the world can be generated from that. After a year of full-time van life, I'll soon be transitioning to a more normal life in Mexico City, but I'll definitely be taking these lessons with me. I hope this video gave you ideas on ways to save money and buy less stuff so that you can spend less time running the hamster wheel and more time living and enjoying life. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.